The justice system. It's supposed to be blind, right? A fair and impartial system where everyone is equal under the law. Well, here in Thailand, let's just say that Lady Justice occasionally peeks out from under that blindfold, and what she sees might make you want to cover your own eyes. Because while Thailand is often known for its beautiful beaches and delicious food, there's a whole other side to this country, one where the wheels of justice turn about as fast as a tuk-tuk in Bangkok rush hour. We're talking about a justice system grappling with delays, discrimination, corruption, and limited access for those who need it most. And if you think those are just buzzwords, buckle up, because we're about to take a deep dive into the murky waters of Thailand's legal system. So, grab yourself a sing of beer, maybe some mango sticky rice for the brave, because things are about to get real. And trust me, you'll need something sweet to offset the bitter aftertaste of injustice. Let's start with the obvious. Thailand's justice system is notoriously slow. We're talking glacial pace, like a snail trying to cross a particularly sticky plate of pad see-ew. And it's not just one thing, oh no, it's a whole buffet of bureaucratic inefficiency. We've got a shortage of judges and court staff all trying to juggle a caseload that would make Atlas sweat. Then there's the paperwork, mountains of it. It's like every legal document needs to be submitted in triplicate, translated into Sanskrit, and then blessed by a monk. And don't even get me started on the court management system. Let's just say it wasn't designed with speed in mind. Imagine trying to navigate the DMV website while riding a water buffalo. That's the level of efficiency we're talking about. All this bureaucratic bungling means that cases drag on for years, sometimes even decades. Imagine being a defendant stuck in legal limbo, or a victim waiting for justice that never seems to come. It's enough to make you want to scream, or at least down a whole bottle of fish sauce. Now, ideally justice should be blind to wealth, status, and political connections. But in Thailand, well, let's just say Lady Justice sometimes needs a stronger prescription for those glasses. Because here, who you are and who you know can often matter more than the facts of the case. We're talking about a system where the wealthy and well-connected seem to have a VIP lane to justice, while everyday citizens are stuck in the back with the engine sputtering. Powerful individuals and big businesses often manage to dodge accountability, their influence seeping into the legal process like fish sauce into, well, everything. And if you're thinking, surely there must be some recourse, think again. Because calling out this kind of injustice can be like trying to swim upstream a waterfall, difficult, dangerous, and likely to leave you soaked and frustrated. Chapter 3. Let's be honest, corruption is a problem in many countries, but in Thailand, it's not just a few bad apples spoiling the bunch. It's more like someone dumped a whole truckload of durian in the orchard. From petty bribes to outright case fixing, corruption has burrowed its way into the very fabric of the justice system. We're talking about police officers looking the other way for a little tea money, judges ruling in favor of the highest bidder, and lawyers who seem more interested in lining their pockets than defending their clients. It's enough to make you wonder if the scales of justice are actually just a giant rusty seesaw, permanently tilted in favor of the corrupt. And the worst part? This culture of corruption erodes public trust in the entire system. When people believe that justice is for sale, it undermines the very foundations of a fair and equitable society. Chapter 4. Imagine for a moment that you're a farmer living in rural Thailand. You've been wronged, maybe your land has been stolen, or you've been cheated in a business deal. You know you need to seek justice, but there's just one problem. You can't afford it. And even if you could, getting to a court might as well be a pilgrimage to the moon. This is the reality for many in Thailand, where access to justice is a luxury, not a right. High legal fees, a lack of legal aid, and a language barrier for those who don't speak Thai all create insurmountable obstacles for the poor and marginalized. It's like trying to win a game of Monopoly, where someone else starts with all the properties and you're stuck in jail. And without access to justice, those who are most vulnerable to exploitation and abuse are left with little recourse, trapped in a cycle of poverty and powerlessness. Chapter 5. Now, when we think about justice, we often think about punishment. And in Thailand, punishment often means prison, but we're not just talking about your average county jail here. We're talking about overcrowded, underfunded institutions where conditions are so bad they'd make even hardened criminals long for a night in a Bangkok hostel. And it's not just the conditions. Thailand's penal system is heavily focused on incarceration rather than rehabilitation. It's like trying to fix a broken leg by throwing the entire person in a cast. It might immobilize the problem, but it doesn't actually heal anything. This lack of focus on rehabilitation means that once someone is released from prison, they're often ill-equipped to reintegrate into society. And so the cycle continues, with ex-convicts often ending up back behind bars, trapped in a system that seems designed to punish rather than reform. So there you have it, a glimpse into the often overlooked underbelly of Thailand's justice system. It's a system riddled with flaws, from its sluggish pace and susceptibility to corruption, to its unequal treatment of citizens and its overcrowded prisons. But here's the thing, recognizing these problems is just the first step. Thailand needs real systemic reform to create a justice system that truly lives up to its name. A system that is fair, efficient, and accessible to all, regardless of wealth, status, or political connections. Because ultimately, a just society requires a just system. And until Thailand addresses these deep-seated issues, the promise of equality under the law will remain just that, a promise, not a reality.